Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my first nail content that I have recorded. I'm so excited to be recording this nail tutorial. It's not much, but it's enough. So I did a set where I just did like a basic white set and encapsulated some money, which is real money. I encapsulated in the nail. And yeah, so I'm excited to show you guys. If you're not following me on my social medias, make sure you follow me. I will pin that down below. But like I said, this is my first content, so here we go. So I had already did her left hand, I believe, and now I'm working on her right. I started to record right at my right hand because my phone was dead and I just couldn't get my life together today. So yeah, I went ahead and did, like I said, the left hand. So I believe it might be the right hand. I'm not sure. Now I do like my nails thick. I don't like them super thick though. I just like them thick enough to where they're not thin. I don't like them to where they look like they'll break within a week. Like my nails thick. It's all in the apex. It's all about how the apex is because it's so quick for you to break a nail, especially with thin nails. So just make sure when you're doing the acrylic, like me, I had to learn the hard way. I just kind of had to make my acrylic a little thicker. And plus it looks better that way with thicker nails. I don't like thin nails. So as long as the apex look good, you should be good. You don't got to make them super thin, but you don't have to make them super thick either. But I just like mine at a nice little thickness, you know. But that's how I like my nails. Everybody don't like thick nails, but majority of your clients like thick nails though. A lot of them not gonna say they want their nails thin, especially if they're long. And these tips was the regular tips. I didn't cut anything. I did file a little bit, like the numbers off the tips, but that's it. I didn't have to use my clippers on these nails to clip anything because she like her nails long. She normally do XL, but I talked her down. So yeah. So we just went with the regular length. You guys, I've been practicing for a couple months. I just started taking clients in March. So I'm still learning. It may look like I'm perfect. I am not, but I do a hell of a good job with some nails. So as you can see, I keep wiping the sidewalls. I learned the hard way. Make sure your beads are not too runny because if your beads are super runny, you're not going to get a good apex and you're going to be wasting a lot of product. So just keep in mind. But I do work with dry beads. I make sure that they're not too dry, but I don't work with runny either. So if you have to use a little paper towel there and get rid of some of that liquid that's on the product, just make sure you do that because that has helped me out a lot. And just make sure you clean up your sidewalls. I do like product on my sidewalls, but I don't like for my product to be running and looking all crazy. So just make sure you clean up your sides at all times. The product do go on the side. So when you see anything that's on the side, just make sure you even that all out and you just keep wiping the sides no matter what. And when I was explaining about the thickness of my nail, just make sure that your thickness is all the way down the nail from, your cuticle all the way down to the end of the nail. Because you don't want the thickness all the way at the cuticle part of the nail and not at the end. Because that can look ugly and tacky. So when you do drag that product, just make sure you bringing it all the way down. I did have some issue. I think it was with this nail. The product like dried really quickly. So if you happen to have that problem, try to move really fast because the product will dry really quick, especially if you're working with beads that's not so liquidy. I'm just using my own little words. But yeah, y'all just, just move quick when you're working with um working with acrylic. Just move fast because if you don't, that product will, especially if you have a fan on, and I have a fan on, I always work with a fan on. Just make sure you move at a fast pace and move that product where it needs to go. That way it won't sit in one spot and then you're going to be looking silly, drilling your life away. So just be careful. And as you can see, I'm wiping my sides. Make sure you get all that extra nastiness from under there, all that gooiness and nasty looking stuff from under there. Make sure you shape up the nail. When you are bringing the product down, you are continuing to shape up the nail, move in the same way as the nail. What I mean is if your nail is square, if it's stiletto, move that product to where, it's keeping that same shape. Okay. So yeah, here's the white. I'm just putting some whites in some different little spots and I'm just dragging it on the clear nail, nothing crazy. And then I'm just moving on to the next nail. Nothing spectacular. Just taking some clear, putting it. So just to fast forward this video, I know this is so annoying. So pretty much the application is there. The only thing left I have to do is put her money on her fingernail, on her nails, and encapsulate it with clear. So right here, I'm just giving a how-to. So what I did was took some money, which was like a dollar bill I had. I burned the ends of it. I didn't burn too much, just burned like the tips of the end, of, if that makes sense, of the money. That way it can show like this burning effect. Because honestly, I think it looks better when you burn it just a little bit. So I burned whatever parts I wanted out of the dollar. Of course, I've cut the dollar. I cut the pieces out of the dollar that I wanted to use and just pretty much glued that on the nail. Sorry. So I glued my money on my nail. Once I glued the money on the nail, I just go back in and encapsulate it with clear. So I did have my tweezers, so as you can see, I'm using some little pointy scissors that I had right there by me. And I just pretty much glued the... I'm sorry, y'all. My son and our dog, they're playing, and I apologize, but it is what it is. So yeah, I just glued the money on there. So how I encapsulate the nail, I use the same strokes. I'm just gonna say strokes as how I would use when I am putting on acrylic. I just do the same thing. I just put some clear on top and I just drag that down. And that's how I do my clear acrylic. It's no particular way I'm putting the clear acrylic on because it's clear acrylic. All you gotta do is just throw it on the nail pretty much. Long as everything's covered and nothing is showing to where it looks like it needs to be kept, you're good to go. Just throw the acrylic on there and continue your process. FYI, you guys, I am using light strokes when I'm filing. It may look like I'm going hard, but I promise you I am going as light as I can. Because like I stated before, I have found myself to file too much. Sometimes the nail might be crooked or lopsided, or one might be straight, one might be a different type of angle. So just make sure you just watch out when you're filing, because I know with that 180 grit, it could be sharp, it could be tough, and you can easily mess up your nail that way. So I'm just using some light strokes, that way I can keep them even and keep all the nails looking the same. Okay, so I'm starting to drill. I'm using a drill bit in a medium course, I believe. So I'm using that, and I'm just pretty much buffing out the nails, I guess you want to say. Even them all out, make sure I'm getting all the lumps, bumps bubbles, cracks, crunks, whatever you want to call it. Getting all that out so the whole nail can be evened up. So normally after I shape up the nail, I go in with my drill and I just pretty much seal down all the areas that need to be sealed in, like the cuticle area and, you know, just the little bumps and stuff that you see that's uneven or anything like that. You can always use your drill and just even that out. Some people you just hand file, but I feel like that takes so much longer. But I use both. I hand file and I use my drill bit because I don't feel like that I get everything out with just hand filing. So I always go in with my drill. So as you can see right here, I know this video was like all over the place, you guys, and I'm so sorry. It wasn't really planned to record. Like halfway into me already being done with her nails, I started to record. So I do apologize. It's so tacky, I feel, to start my first nail content like this, but it is what it is. I really been wanting to get a nail tutorial out to you guys for a long time. And yeah, I'm self-taught, you guys. I pretty much teach myself everything I know. I've taught myself. So yeah, God has just blessed me with these beautiful hands of mine to work. So that's what I do. And I teach myself everything. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am slightly pushing the skin back with my left hand. My right hand, I'm holding the drill, and my left hand, I'm taking. As you can see, I protect the cuticle with my thumb. I also use my index finger with my left hand and push the skin back. That way I won't hit any of her skin when I am working with my drill. So just be very mindful when you are working with your drill, or even with hand filing, you guys. Hand filing can be pretty rough, and it's just as similar as working with a drill, especially on using like grits that's sharp, that has those sharp teeth. Just make sure that you protect the skin at all times, because if you don't, your client, you'll either burn her or you will cut her, and you don't want none of that. You don't want none of that. So just be very, very careful when you're using a drill or when you're hand filing. Just make sure you protect the skin. However you use your drill, however you use your file, just make sure you protect the skin. Now right here, I'm just taking the other side of my file, which is a buffer. And I'm just buffing out my nails so I can get her to wash her hands and for the finishing touches, put on the top coat. So after she washed her hands, after I got her to wash her hands, let me tell y'all about this top coat. So I use the CNC Gel Soak Off No Cleanse top coat. I freaking love it. It leaves the shine there the entire time they have their nails on. So if you're looking for a really, really good top coat, I believe this was like no more than $8. I got it at my local nail supply store. But I'm pretty sure you can find it wherever you are, unless you just want to order online, do that. But I promise y'all will not regret it. All right, you guys, we are finished with this video. I'm so sorry. I know this video was all over the place, but I promise you guys a whole nother video in my next nail tutorial. All right, you guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye.